The Under Armour Shadow Elite 2 is a fantastic pair of football boots that gives you one of the most locked-in sensations on feet. But I think there were some things that it could have improved on. Well, in today's video is all about the Under Armour Shadow Elite 3, a football boot that I have been so excited about. Before we jump into today's video, I just want you guys to know you can get 20% off of WeFoot grip socks, which are my favorite grip socks. I actually have a pair on right now, and they are absolutely fantastic. Great amount of grip, really good compression fit as well. So you can go pick them up at 20% off down in the description box below. So this is the Under Armour Shadow Elite 2 unboxing. I'm going to fix this camera really quick and show you guys what these boots are all about. The reason I've been so excited about this is because this is a pair of boots that I actually tried on in July of this past year of 2024. So I was able to go and do some work with the Under Armour crew, doing some consulting for them. So these are in my normal 9 US, a UK 8, a Euro 42.5, and a 27 centimeters, the Under Armour Shadow Elite 3 in firm ground. The reason I am so excited for these is because when I first tried them on, I was absolutely blown away by how they fit and feel. Now, if you guys know, this is a pair of football boots that I actually really like. They give the most locked-in sensation of pretty much any boot on the market, aside from maybe the Mizuno Alpha, with, of course, the carbon fiber sole. Without further ado, these, oh yeah, are the Under Armour Shadow Elite 3, and they are incredible in my opinion. Beautiful carbon fiber sole with some really cool like textured patterning on them as well. A new IntelliKnit upper, which we'll talk about in a minute. Just sensational, and a really cool color pattern as well. So let's get these unboxed and ready to go. No string bag or anything that comes with the boots, which is fair enough, but here we are. So let's get this down right there. And I'm also gonna put this one right on the other side as well. And then there you go, ladies and gentlemen, the Under Armour Shadow Elite 3. I am so excited for these. So if you guys don't know, one of the most iconic Nike boots of all time is the Flyknit Ultra. The Flyknit Ultra and the Shadow Elite 3 are almost identical. So you have the Flyknit Ultra, as you can see, and the upper of the Shadow Elite 3 are very similar. A really beautiful, nice and thick knit material with this ribbing texture. It's very similar. There's a lot of design inspiration that comes from the Flyknit Ultra, and I think Under Armour absolutely crushed it with this pair of football boots. The pair that I tried on was in a different colorway to this, one of their early colorways that they ended up not going for. But regardless, very nice and soft knit material. The entire upper is this new IntelliKnit upper that has, it's a re-engineered IntelliKnit upper that has water resistant, quote unquote, never wet coating on the upper. So that's this material here. And it's got some nice water resistance across the upper as well. You do have the ribbed knit material for a little bit of texturing as you're manipulating the ball as well. And then it does have a TPU skin over the top as well. The inside, you've got a molded sock liner, which has a pretty decent amount of padding. That's one thing that Under Armour, I think, is going to do a really good job of in the next couple years, of creating an underfoot cushioned sensation that's going to feel a lot better than other boots on the market, because they're really paying attention to the way that players want a little bit more cushioning, especially as pitches go towards synthetic, unfortunately, particularly in the US and in Australia here. But I think this is going to create a really nice cushioned underfoot feeling. It's very padded, not too dissimilar from the Hyperburst Pro sock liner or from the Asics. Now I'm going to forget the name of the actual tech that's in it, but it's the same material that they use in their running shoes as well for the sock liners of their football boots, which is really nice. The heel area seems to be very similar, if not identical, to the previous generation. Yep, exactly the same. So really nice. I honestly had zero complaints of the previous generation as well, so that's totally fine that they went with a very similar heel construction. And then you do have that carbon fiber agility outsole that they've sort of painted in this really cool rainbow polka dot color that makes it shine and makes it really stand out. I imagine that's going to rub off over time, so it'll end up looking a little bit more standard like the old generation, but it is that same carbon fiber sole with a pretty reasonable amount of snapback as well, and good structure through the midfoot here as well. The upper contains at least 30% recycled content, and it weighs roughly about 8 ounces, just under, in a 9 or 9.5 US. So not the lightest boot on the market, but I do think that if you're somebody who really loves a super comfortable speed boot, or you're looking for a replacement for one of the greatest football boots to ever been created, this is freaking amazing. And guess what? Because I've tried them on, I can tell you right now, they fit wide foot shapes. This Intelliknit upper is incredible. The Intelliknit on the previous generation was already one of my favorite knit materials on the market, particularly because it's really robust, it's very thick, it's very quiet, it feels really quality on foot, and I think they've absolutely nailed it. I would argue that Intelliknit, maybe grip knit, but grip knit almost doesn't count because it's kind of its own thing now. But as far as quality of a knit upper, this is probably one of the best feeling on feet because it feels super solid. It's very dense, and it reminds me a lot of this Flyknit Ultra and then the Phantom Ultra, which I also have. It's the same sort of knit material that they've used. Then they rolled that into this, which is an even more kind of updated version of that with this ribbing texture, and it is absolutely fantastic. I have literally been waiting since July, so like 6 months almost now, to reveal these to you guys because they are so cool, and I am very excited to get these out on pitch and start testing these because I genuinely think this will be up there for boot of the year already. I know it's only January 13th as of the filming of today's video, but oh my days, these are good. Like, this is one of those football boots that I wish that you guys all need to purchase because you just need to know how freaking amazing they are, particularly because if you are somebody who plays majority of the time on firm ground pitches, this particular sole plate is amazing on firm ground. Sure, it's a little aggressive and you may not want that. My guess is that they are going to create a model with conical studs at some point. I don't know if it's going to be with this model or the next one, but my hope is that they are. I am trying to push them to sort of, hey, you guys do need to make a little bit more of a neutral sole plate, particularly because I think in order to get the excitement around this boot that I think it deserves, it definitely needs to have a little bit more of a neutral sole plate. I don't mind because here in Australia, we have some of the best firm ground pitches available in the world, pretty much because of the climate. However, I think for the majority of the people who are buying this, either in America, Europe, or Australia, in Australian markets, they're gonna want something that's a little easier to play with on both AG and FG surfaces. So working on that for sure. I can't contain my excitement with how pumped I am about these boots. And already this year we've had, I mean, I know it was technically last year, but like the Predator 25, incredible, great update. Alpha 2, incredible update. DS Lite X Fly Pro 3, incredible update. Like we're getting all these football boots, the new Copa Pure 3, like we're getting all these incredible football boots. And these are easily in the top 3 for me already because they are so comfortable and so good. So without further ado, let's jump into my backyard. I'll show you guys all about these boots, show you guys some of the ways they fit, the reasons they're so similar to the Flyknit Ultra, not just in shape, but also just in general comfort, and how getting rid of some of this exo mesh material, even though it is really good because it creates lockdown, just creates a more incredibly comfortable playing experience with these. Let's hop into it. All right, guys, out here on the pitch with the absolutely beautiful Shadow 3. Oh, I can't wait to get these on feet. Okay, here's what they look like. Really cool looking. I love what they've done with that sole plate as well. A little bit of a paint job update, but I'm going to imagine that these are going to fit exactly the same as the ones that I had on in the Under Armour headquarters, which is, oh, yes. No wonder I was so excited about these. Oh my days. Okay, so the Shadow 3 fits like a combination between Vapor 13 and most notably the Flyknit Ultra. This feels incredibly similar to Flyknit Ultra, albeit the IntelliKnit upper of this feeling more structured and robust than the Flyknit Ultra. If you want something that's a little bit thinner, maybe this isn't your thing, but this knit material is absolutely sensational. It feels amazing, it feels quality, it feels durable, it feels robust. And the touch on this ball, the touch on the ball, I imagine is going to be pretty incredible because it's the same IntelliKnit literally all the way through the upper. So you're going to get a very consistent feeling on ball. And I imagine that the overall experience of playing in these boots is going to be just freaking amazing. So the fit is easily above an 8 for an Oh My Days rating. These are special. These are real. Under Armour has just nailed it with this football boot. And one of the things I love is that with this extra coating on the front, so this coating not only adds a little bit of kind of grip element to this area, obvious design elements as well, but they've left this area right here like a raw IntelliKnit. Yes, it's a little water resistant, which is great. What that does mean though is that this area right here for wider foot shapes, you're going to be able to break them in much easier than if that was a completely coated IntelliKnit upper. Very, very cool. The heel area is identical to the previous generation, which is a great thing. It fits really well. It feels super locked in, very neutral. I think it's going to fit most people really well. And then of course this sole plate is not for everybody, but I think it does do a really nice job of being that super springy carbon fiber plate that you come to expect from the Under Armour brand. So this is one of the most comfortable knit uppers of the year, easily on par with the Nike boots, the GX2 and the Superfly/Vapor. And I almost think this is a step above those just in terms of the quality and the robustness of this upper. If you're afraid that your grip knit is going to rip and stuff really quickly, these are the way to go. So here's a full look at the boots. They look incredible in my opinion. It's a really cool kind of aggressive colorway pattern as well. They'll come out with a bunch of more colors that are also really dope because I've seen a couple of them and they are amazing. So Shadow 3, this is going to take the world by storm in my opinion. They fit perfectly. So just a really quick thing on sizing. They fit true to size just like the previous generation as well. Because it's the same last, they fit the same in terms of, you know, the length of the boot. And then these will definitely fit wider foot shapes compared to the previous generation, which had the exo mesh on the lateral and medial sides of the midfoot, which kept it super locked in and really tight until you broke it in a little bit. Those ones fit me well. Not quite perfect, but well. Straight out of the box, these are already fitting like I've worn them forever. Let me grab a ball really quick that is behind the camera and show you guys a bit of my unbelievable juggling skills. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a freestyler, but touch on the ball feels, oh, it's that knit material where you feel really one-to-one with it, but it feels like you're just playing in a pair of socks. Like this is one of the more sock-like sensation football boots I think I've had on my feet in a while. Not quite as soft as the Tequila and the Furon, but this is more robust and definitely more performance knit oriented, if you will. This IntelliKnit upper is just absolutely fantastic. Like you feel so locked in despite the upper sort of stretching out and then like snapping back into your foot, almost like rubber bandish. And what boot did I describe that? The hybrid touch from the Predator. Completely different type of rubber bandy. This is like actually, it feels like a rubber band that just went like this and then snaps back to the shape of your foot. And as you can see, very, very comfortable, super accommodating for my foot. No weird gaps or spaces around my ankle because the IntelliKnit makes up the entirety of that upper. And then of course, the sole plate that is a little narrow underfoot for my liking. I wish they would widen the midfoot of the sole plate a little bit. As you can see, I'm spilling over the side of the midfoot a little bit, but honestly, during playing, particularly on firm ground pitches, I don't even notice. I notice a little bit on AG, but that's also because this sole plate is pretty aggressive and it's definitely, again, as I said, it's not for everybody, but this upper is for everybody. This upper is freaking awesome, and it is so enjoyable to kick a ball around with. I've had a little bit of playing experience, obviously, back in July with them, but oh my days, like, they just feel, they feel pingy, they feel good, they feel super natural on my feet, and I cannot wait to take these out on pitch. So I will do my best to get the play test of these out as soon as possible so that you guys can go and pick up a pair for yourself. But I think that's gonna wrap up today's review of the Under Armour Shadow 3. Under Armour, fantastic work. The Shadow 2s were good, definitely a good football boot, but I think these are going to be almost perfect. And I am excited to see what happens after this, because there's only so much you can do to a boot like this to make it better. And oh man, they're so good and they're so comfortable straight out of the box. So let me know down in the comment section below if you guys have any more questions about the Shadow 3. I am super stoked that you'll see a ton of content on Instagram and YouTube about these, because these are already a contender for Boot of the Year for me. They are absolutely fabulous. As somebody who loved the Flyknit Ultra and the Phantom Ultra, these are sort of the next level of robustness and design and everything from those. And guess what? They fit wide feet like me. So that is super cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because it's free. As always, be awesome. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.